Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Omar
And I'm Romana.
and welcome to our YouTube channel.
So we decided to birth this YouTube channel just to share moments of our journey that we think will be helpful to other people on the same path.
Definitely useful. The main topics and the topic that we're going to discuss today is about celibacy.
CELIBACY! Woo woo! It's such an unpopular topic, but
100%.
I think we've been on this journey for
Coming up to 5 years.
7 years.
6 years for me.
Yeah.
5 years together.
5 years together,
Exactly.
and then other years independently. But yeah, so we're just gonna get straight into it. We're gonna save the intro video for the next video because we're just gonna be unorthodox, and we're gonna go straight into the topic of why did we choose to be celibate, and how is that going for us during quarantine. So do you want to start like why did you choose to be celibate?
So, I chose to be celibate just because, for me, like, I grew up in a worldly world. Like, I wasn't, say, obviously, like, religious or, like, I never had any sort of kind of relationship with God or things like that. So, for me, it was important when I did actually have a relationship with God to make sure that I devoted my time, my effort, my energy into Him and to glorify, obviously, God in general. And that's as an individual, so that when I had a relationship, I could just give everything to God and my relationship. And that's the main thing, because obviously, as it says, a man without discipline is like a city left with walls.
Man without self-control.
No wall, innit?
Man without self-control.
No, I know what it says. I'm just trying to paraphrase, isn't it? Like,
but I know what you mean.
Do you want to go with? Do you want to go there?
I know what you
there?
mean.
Proverbs, innit? A man without self-control is like a city left with
You've
walls.
got it on your
I got it on my arm,
sure.
exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
for me, like, I think I chose to be celibate because I just wanted to honour God with my whole body. Like, I just wanted to be a vessel. I didn't just want to say I was being a vessel. I actually wanted to live it through and through, like, give Him all of me.
Everything in it.
And that meant the parts of us that we're most tempted by, that meant sexual gratification, that just meant giving God everything and just saying I want Him to use me. So, yeah. I was celibate before we even got together, wasn't I?
All right.
Let's just make that
even
clear.
That, like how that works, like, Mom was celibate first, and obviously, don't get me wrong, like, that's where I kind of got the first idea from.
You
like,
did wrestle with the idea. You were like, because we were friends then, you were like, you're celibate. How does that work?
The thing is, though, is with celibacy, when someone, like I would say, when a female brings it to you, it's like, okay, well, where do I stand? But usually a lot of people take a back step. I was just like, well, what is it? Why? Like, I wanted to know all the information before...
And actually, you really, like, respected it.
Yeah, well, that's how I was brought up.
Yeah, but you respected it. Like, you wasn't one of them males that were like, oh, okay, cool. That means we can't work or whatever. You were just like, okay, I respect that, and obviously I honour you and cool. And
that's what I'm saying. I think, like, for a male in general, like, if you take the defense, it's gonna push everything. Like, the girl's gonna go away. The relationship that you potentially had, the friendship that you had, it's done if you come at it at that angle. But if you're kind of like questioning things and just trying to take an interest, then that will allow you to kind of get a little bit closer, have a better relationship and things like that.
And I feel like celibacy has bettered my relationship with God because I just feel like I'm pleasing Him, like, all the time, if that makes sense.
Sick.
Even though it's very hard. Even though it's really hard.
So difficult. It's like, so difficult. I think after
for
so
a male,
many years,
do you think it's harder?
After so many years, it only gets harder. And
do you think?
Yeah, because, okay, when you're celibate, obviously you have a plan in your head to go, okay, I want to get married. So from the day you start to the day you get married, you are always on eggshells. Like, there's so much temptation in the world, especially if you're in a relationship. Like, when you're with the person 24/7, obviously all you want to do is be affectionate. All you want to do is trying to kind of get at each other in a way, whether it's friendly banter or whatever it will be. So it's very difficult, and as I said, it gets worse until you get married. Like,
but I think we've found to love each other without sex, if that makes sense.
It's, trust me, it's sick. It's probably the best one of the best decisions and achievements, you know, that you can do. because the discipline is everything. But it's hard. It is very hard.
But it shows you that you don't
very
need
hard.
sex to love, and I think a lot of people confuse it.
So
Like
true.
a lot of people get into relationships and think they're in love, and actually they're just in lust. Like
Mm.
because you've got into that sexual intimacy before marriage or early or prematurely, however
Yeah.
you want to look at it, you feel like it can solve a lot of problems.
It's mad. Take it out. What have you got?
Mm.
And that's the issue. Take that out of it. Well, what have you got? And I think that would be the question to have, like, with a lot of relationships. Like, if we decided to have sex,
Which we wouldn't before
Yeah.
marriage.
like
One year,
that
couple
would be a
months to go.
problem, though. If we had sex now,
It would just spoil
that would
everything
be a
we've worked towards. I would feel like
problem.
I'd feel like such a disappointment before God, but then I'd
Problem.
also just be like, why would we have sacrificed? We'd
Exactly.
sacrificed too much to
Everything.
get to this point.
Everything
And
would be
actually,
gone.
I feel like the blessings that God's placed on our life because
True.
we chose to honor Him with our bodies is just incredible.
And this is the thing, like, I think once you choose to be celibate, you can't look at it and say, okay, but once I do get married, God's gonna give me the world.
yeah.
Like, He will give you it in the whole journey. Like, you just have to be kind of like, just be patient, really.
It teaches you to be disciplined in other areas as well, I feel.
Ooh, yeah.
Like once you've got your sexual temptation and the manners and you're grounded and anchored
Yeah.
in God, you're grounded in other places as well, isn't it?
It's individual.
Mm.
It's individual, like, because obviously you've chosen to be celibate. It's totally dependent on you and your own morals and your own journey and whatnot. Then when you bring it together, it's amazing.
Do you feel like you've grown as a man of God because you've decided to be celibate?
Yeah.
How?
I would say devotion.
Mm.
I would say obviously attending church.
Yeah.
I would say the one thing that it's allowed me to do is have a relationship with God. Say a lot of people obviously kind of look at what I say as different, but I don't really class myself, and I know for a fact me and Juan have the same idea, is we don't have like a religion, like we don't have an actual kind of, okay, yes we are Christians, but we have a relationship with God, which is,
and we just love God.
exactly. So there's no like, okay, well, this can be done and that can't be done. We follow the Christian religion, but we have a distinct
It's like relationship before religion,
exactly.
isn't it?
Relationship, religion, and everything else afterwards. That do you know what I mean? But we also, as I said, we respect each other.
Yeah.
Those are the two main things: relationship with God and respect each other. Everything else after that can take whatever form.
So in terms of like setting boundaries, then obviously celibacy is great, and we've spoke about how the benefits of it.
Man, they're
But now
not gonna like these boundaries.
Now
know,
let's
trust
flip
me.
it on the head. Like
Oof.
obviously there are some really trying, challenging times,
Okay.
especially now that we bought a house together.
Okay.
And now we actually live in the same house. I feel like there's new challenges now that we've had to adapt to. So
Alright. If we go from the start, when we were living separately,
yeah.
Marn hit me with some expectations that
Did I?
was straight yes and no.
What did I do? What did I say?
Most of it was no.
What did I say?
Okay, so we had like I remember you called me over to the house and he was like, yo, I just wanna do this, like, your set boundaries. These are completely do nots. And these are do's.
Okay, yeah, I
And
think I
we wrote
remember.
it down and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there was obviously no sex. For a start, and like no sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
What else were?
And we had to be serious with that one there, you know, like a lot of couples get that one wrong. Like, you don't put yourself in the same bed and then be like, oh, we're gonna practice celibacy. It's a no-go. Like, you basically put yourself in a situation that you know you won't be able to resist.
Trust me.
So I remember if I would
What
sleep
else is
at
there?
yours, you'd be on the floor and I'd be in the bed.
Anyway.
Real gentleman
What else
you
is
are.
there? I can't remember.
There's loads that we had. There's loads. We had a whole list. So
And then
remember.
we had obviously do's. So for argument's sake, like you like hold hands. Obviously, like going in the cinema, things like that. You would allow kissing.
But there's certain things that we wouldn't allow because we know that it would, like,
obviously
trigger points
certain
and it.
things. But as I said, I think the main thing is create your do's and don't list if you can before getting into,
and have the conversation about it. Like, be like, what are your trigger points? What are yours?
build expectation. Like there's nothing worse than going into a celibate relationship without having the expectations known first.
And
like,
the boundaries set in it.
Don't have a relationship that you're actually having sex and then you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna be celibate.
Spring it on ya.
What?
If I would have done that to you, you'd be so annoyed.
This video wouldn't have happened. Do you know what I mean? No way. No way. Because the expectation wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? And I think that from the start,
but for
from the
me,
get-go, has to be said.
I feel like my family are very like grounded, and I've been brought up in church to a certain extent. And I feel like when we said we were buying the house, it was like, you know, are you going to move in together before you get married? And what's that going to look like? And I just feel like we were strong enough and rooted enough in God to step out and be unique and show what modern day celibacy looks like. So we were like, yeah, we're going to move in together. I'm going to have my own room on top floor. Yeah. You're going to have your own room on first floor, and we're going to make it work. And yeah, it's going to be challenging, but I feel like you really get to know someone once you live with them. And I didn't want to live with you after we were married, because I needed to know like
exactly what it was, innit?
I need to know exactly.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. But I needed to see your traits. I needed to see the ins and outs. Like I wanted to know before I put that commitment on paper. Do you know what I mean?
No prenup.
No. No, but seriously, I wanted to be like. I wanted to be clued up. I didn't just want to be like, oh, we're married now, so I'm gonna move out my mum's. Nah.
But the thing is, though, I think from even anyone's side, like, expect the questions and also have the answers. Because if you don't have the answers, you won't get back in.
You look fool.
And like people are gonna be like, you know what? Well, did they think it through? Not that it's their business, but you're gonna like it's gonna make you feel.
So your brethrens then.
Go on. go on.
Just being honest.
Tread carefully.
I'm treading carefully.
Listen.
I feel like you ain't really got that. You didn't have that, like, man, them were like, yo, Omz, that's sick. Like, weren't they like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
You know what it is? I think, like, as I said, obviously, my brothers are worldly in it. So, they were like, yeah, that's mad. Like, why would you want to do that? Da-da-da-da-da. But then in the same breath, I had some brethren that were like, you know what? I couldn't do it, but I respect it.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after they realised that, after maybe like a year, this kid is serious about it. Like, okay, cool, 2 years, 3 years. All I can do is respect it. So I would say is like just
that consistency.
Understand that your brethren are probably gonna be like at first your biggest persecutors. They're gonna be like, yo. Nah.
I felt like they were looking at me like you've changed our friend and that.
Nah, can't do that. Like, are you mad? Like, bro, come on. But then after a while, after they consider consistency, after they consider growth, like I've had brethren that were at first saying, yo, it's mad. Saying, yo, like, Omz, like, you Mrs. like Marnz, like, change you, but for better. Like, I can see the growth, and I'm only happy for you. So you just take it.
Especially when we got engaged. Exactly. I think that's when they were like, yo, Omz is like serious now. And even like family. But for my friends, I feel like they were just cheerleaders from the get-go. Like, they were. Why are you making that face? They were really supportive. Like, I feel like I've had supportive friends.
But I think it's because of where and how all of your friends have been like.
Yeah, true. They're in a different
kettle of fish.
Most of them have relationships. This is like,
God, exactly. This is like, okay, well, I know what mine's about, so I didn't really expect anything less.
Oh yeah, that expectation.
Whereas me now, it's like, pass the Buchanan. It's like,
Luke said that to me so many times.
Pass the Buchanan. It's like, okay, they're the jokes now, guys, isn't it?
So yeah, I think should we leave it there? Let's wrap up for today. Anyway, that's episode 1. How to, I can't remember what the title was.
It's not even a how to.
No, it's just
a guide and an understanding
tips from our journey.
Our journey of celibacy, innit?
And we're gonna have more videos coming, guys. We're just gonna be throwing transparency on this YouTube channel. If you have any like questions or anything, please.
Any topics that we can speak on for you guys, bring
DM us or contact us.
Put it in the comments. Like, subscribe,
and share.